We're full already. When is enough enough? When are the numbers going to say that's enough? Who's stopping it? No one's stopping it. I'm just here to protest, to show that I care about my country.
This is Callum Smiles for Rebel News, and I've come to Dover to cover the anti-illegal immigration protest, as people in Dover and across the entire United Kingdom grow increasingly frustrated with the government's lack of action when it comes to illegal immigration. And I've come to ask the protesters exactly what they think of the matter. So this is the start of the protest. I'm going to mingle in with the locals and ask them a few questions as to why it's important for them to be here today.
Our streets! Stop the boats! Stop the invasion! Stop the boats! Stop the invasion!
Like just one problem with this mass uncontrolled immigration is you've got British-born citizens can't get their children into school because obviously they haven't accommodated for the massive influx of people coming in. Lots of them have brought their children with them, and you've now got foreign children being prioritised over British-born citizens, and it's not acceptable.
What's your biggest concern when it comes to illegal immigration?
We're full already. When is enough enough? When are the numbers going to say that's enough? Who's stopping it? No one's stopping it. I'm just here to protest, to show that I care about my country, my daughter, my granddaughter, my friends, everybody. This is not right.
Do you mind if I ask you why you've come down here today for Rebel News?
Right, we're local residents. We live in Aycliffe.
They're still coming up on Shakespeare Beach. They run up the little steps, come into Aycliffe because they think it's a way out for them, instead of realising it's a community, so it's one way in, one way out. And they hide in people's gardens, they hide in the school grounds, they walk into people's houses. And you've got elderly people, vulnerable families, you've even got kids up there. And we, as concerned parents,
our kids can't even use the play park anymore.
They can't even play out anymore.
So the protest is now heading towards the ferry terminal, as this is one of the best ways to really get the message out there, as it cannot be ignored on this road. One of the main concerns that people here have is the amount of money that goes towards illegal immigration. A lot of the people here talk about how they are taxpayers, and yet when they want help from the government, they can't get it. Yet illegal immigrants get anything and everything.
This place, Dover, is full of immigration. Hotels, apartments. The Englishman can't get a house no more because they've given them all to them. I mean, benefits, housing, free council tax, everything. I mean, that's why I'm here. I've had enough of it. I'm a working man.
And do you think this is a problem that's only going to get worse, or can you see it being resolved?
It's going to get worse. Of course it is. When you've got hundreds and hundreds turning up on the boats every day.
We've got young men either posing as children, because we know it happens. They're not being checked out by the Home Office. They're going into schools. We've got people in this country living in bed and breakfast, waiting for accommodation, and they're not getting it, but they're getting it. It's like, this doesn't make sense to me. It's just, no, it's not fair. And they can stop in other countries. I don't know why they have to come here.
So we've now come across a counter-protest of refugees welcome, and it seems getting quite heated, so I'm going to head in there and see what's going on. Can I ask you why you've come to counter this protest today?
Because you can't trust far-right fascist men to protect women from being raped. That is just not a thing. Far-right fascist men are anti-women. They're a danger to women. It's not going to happen.
But what about when they talk about the concerns of the dangers to women to... Sorry, Carol.
Who are you?
I work for Rebel News, and we've been covering the immigration issues.
Are you like a far-right channel?
Well, what is far? We're not far-right, we're not left or right, we're just reporting the story.
So, yeah, like people who want to take, people who want to non-16-year-old girls, all this incel bullshit on the right, I don't think that's the answer to violence against women and girls.
But what do you say to the concerns of parents like that when they say, they've actually had those who've come on boats come straight into their house?
For them to organise collectively away from the far-right fascist men. Women only.
There you have it. Apparently, protesting illegal immigration in this country is apparently far right, and it should only be women only protesting the issue. Doesn't quite make sense to me. But what do you think about the genuine concerns? Because we were speaking to a parent earlier who said that, some illegal migrants have come off a boat and they've gone straight into their house and demanded things like their phone. What do you think about those concerns?
I'm sorry, there are a few thousand people coming over to try and get better lives in this country. Some of them may be bad eggs, I don't know. But I do know that we've got a society where the top 1% own and make decisions about all of us, and we should be working together with other people who have nothing to make the society more equal and fairer.
So the police have now formed two lines, one holding the counter-protest down there, and the second line is moving back towards the route where the anti-illegal immigration protest came from to split the two apart. Steve, so tell us what happened down there at that counter-protest.
Basically, the police give us the okay on the route. They said we can go down here, we can end down there and do the speeches. But as you can see, when we got there, the open border fanatics were all there. And the reason that they were there is apparently because the police officer said they wanted to take pictures. So he let them down there to disrupt our event. So all of the liaison we've done with the police has just gone out of the window. And now we're taking the demo into our own hands and we just changed the route. Because they've tried to destroy our day, we will carry it on another way.
What do you make of the opposition protest actually going where the police said this protest could go to do their speeches?
Time and time again, the police services up and down this country, they are stopping our legal right to protest. So what they're doing there is that it's essentially they've let the left go there to stop where we need to go because they think that's going to make us quiet. That's going to make us stop, and they hopefully they get some Daily Mail pictures and whatnot. They are, the police, supposed to be helping us, serving us. They're a disgrace to wear the uniform.
So why have you come down to the protest today?
Genuinely because I'm fed up with the way things are going in this country. I'm neither left nor right. I find perfectly in the middle. And I refuse to be called a racist because I'm against mass illegal immigration for no reason. It's getting out of control now. And something needs to happen and it's not going to happen. And just come down to see what's going on today, really.
What's your biggest concern when it comes to illegal immigration?
Not so much what's going to happen now or in a year's time if 50,000 people come across the border. It's what's going to happen in 3, 4, 5, 6 years' time. When's it going to end?
So the police are slowly coming down the road. They've moved the protesters back to where they've come from and they're now heading back in towards the town centre.
Protect your children! Protect your girls in their educational establishments. Why are the schools in Dover covering up rape?
Do you mind if I ask you why you come down here today?
Just to protect the kids, get our story across a bit. Yeah, because no one else is doing it. So.
Are kids your biggest concern when it comes to illegal immigration?
One of the main ones, yeah, with what happened in the school locally, so yeah, basically.
And do you think that the police and the government are going to do anything about this?
No, they haven't for years. Why should they change? No, they're not for the people here anymore. They're for everyone else but us.
And what do you make about that counter-protest we've just incurred?
Well, they all want refugees, but they won't take one in their own house. I've got no time for the soap dodgers.
So it's a bit of an odd situation, really, because the police originally stopped the original route for the anti-illegal immigration protest because they were met by a rival protest of those who are welcoming refugees. So the police have now moved them back towards the town centre, but now they seem to be being pursued by the refugees welcome protest, who are shouting Nazi scum off our streets. There was an allegation where 3 young Afghan migrant boys held down one girl whilst another one raped her. Do you think the girl's lying, or do you think... Well, what do you think?
I don't know. It needs to be investigated, doesn't it?
And you mentioned...
But I can't judge it without evidence. And you've presented no evidence either.
You mentioned you're sick of these protesters coming to your town, but what do you make of those coming to your town illegally on boats in the English Channel?
Well, they're seeking asylum.
From France?
Yes.
Can you be an asylum seeker from a safe country like France?
No. You confuse it.
But it costs thousands of pounds to get on those boats.
EU, you had to go into the first EU country and seek sanctuary and asylum.
But we're forking out millions and millions and millions on illegal immigrants being put in hotels, then into their own houses, paid for by the taxpayer, all encouraged by this government. They say they're against it, and they're absolutely lying. Stand strong and make sure we defend our borders because nobody else will.
So the protest has come to an end here in the town centre of Dover, and there's been a few keynote speakers talking about the main issues of illegal immigration. Where the country goes from here remains to be seen. But it's been Callum Smiles for Rebel News here in Dover, covering the anti-illegal immigration protest. No one quite covers the migrant crisis like we do. No one covers it honestly and asks the tough questions like we do. So if you value everything we do when it comes to the migrant crisis, please head over to migrantreports.co.uk and help by chucking in a couple of quid to cover our expenses so we can continue to bring you the news that matters to you. Thank you.